everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today is the next series for our Leetcode which was going on. So see, what we were doing previously is I was helping you out to solve out some of the Leetcode questions based over their easy, medium and the hard levels. And I was even telling you that how you can solve out these questions, because we all know कि if you want to apply in some very good MNC, you need to have a very good coding skills. Even you need to have some good profile over any of these coding platforms. So it's your choice, whatever you take. For me, I have started on with Leetcode for you all. You can take HackerRank, you can take HackerEarth, and many more are there in the market. Whatever you wish out, you can just take all of those, right? So if you haven't watched out the previous videos up till now, so I request you to go ahead and watch out those previous videos first of all. Just a minute. So I request you to please go and watch out those previous videos first of all, which is actually a kind of a series that is going on, right? So it's better if you take it in a manner of series, it would be much more better, right? Great. So again, today we are having 3-4 questions with us. Okay, I'll be helping you out to solve out all of those questions, like what's the way, what is the question all about, and generally like how to find out the answer for those questions, and all of those things we will be going through today. Okay, perfect. So let's start on here. So I would just first of all zoom in a little bit. Good enough. Great. So we are having a linked list. Okay, I hope you all know about the linked list. It is one of the most important data structures which we have in. It is a kind of a list, and there we are having different things like nodes and like a lot of things over there, right? So we are having up a linked list with us, right? Swap every two adjacent nodes and return its head. Okay, so what we have to do, we just have to swap up every two adjacent nodes, okay, and just we have to return it the heads, right? Return its head. So you have to solve up this problem without modifying the values in the list and in the node, that is only nodes themselves may be changed. Cool enough. So the way how you have to solve out this problem is that you have to modify the values in the list nodes. Okay, that is, it means that the only nodes should be changed. Hope you are getting that thing. So let's say I had given up this input, head is 1, 2, 3 and 4. So my output would turn out 2, 1, 4 and 3. So what is this doing? It is actually, one second. Yeah, it is swapping every second adjacent number. So my second adjacent number is first of all 2, and then my second adjacent number is 4. So it is just swapping that second and 4. So it becomes like 2, 1, 4 and 3, right? Very easy and like pretty easy to solve out, right? So yeah, that is a method how you just have to do this. Now this program seems very much easy because you just have to check out the indexes, means the total number of numbers you are having, and from that for every second index you just have to change up the position, and just you have to subtract one position back and put it over there. You have to just swap up the positions generally, and that is it, what you have to do. Great. Let's start writing out this program very quickly because it's very easy kind of a program. So I'll start with my making of a class. So if you like write this question, the solution over Leetcode, now you will already get a class which is made, you will get a functions which is made. You just have to write the main part of the complete program, maybe the main lines where you are mainly writing up the logic, right? But no, as we are writing it over here onto the Google column, and that is the reason I would just write up all of these things on my own. Okay, but if you are going to try it onto any coding platform, you will automatically get a class which is automatically made previously. You will even have functions which are defined up. You just have to write down the very main logic of the complete program. Okay, so this is the class which is a solution class. I have a mega function that is def swap pairs, let's say. Okay, and inside that what I'm going to do, first of all I'm going to pass up self. We all know that whenever we are making up a function inside a class, we pass up the self. Okay, we have to put down the val is equal to 0, means I'm setting a variable val and assigning it the value as 0 for now. Okay, and my next variable will be next, and I am just setting that to none. Okay, just not like this. Okay, if I have made a function and defined the self, I would just take it in another manner. Okay, I would define up my head as list node. Okay, I define up my head as a list node, and I would just point that to like this, and again I would just put up list node. Okay, what I'll do, I would just write over here one thing that is optional, right? Now see, putting up this respective thing, see this optional thing, it removed out this issue which was over here, and again over here I am gonna put out this optional. Now see, the reason for this is list node is not any kind of a function or anything like that, right? So yeah, we require this auto importing of this list node, and that is the reason for which we are just using up over here the optional and this particular thing, right? So I hope you are okay with that particular thing and even clear also. Right, so for now just we have what we have done up till now. We just defined up a simple class, okay, and even you can just put this from typing import optional, that is the respective library which needs to be used out. Fine, great. So you just have to, up till now you just have made a class, that is solution class, and after that you just have used up this def function for making up a function which is swap pairs, and inside that you have passed out the self, the head, and yeah, again assign that to the optional list node. Fine, that is all. Getting down, okay, I would just put up a colon, and getting down over here I would just write that okay. So now like it's the time, basically we were just simply going ahead and putting down our conditions which we have to satisfy. Right, so I would just take my conditions for this respective variable, that is my head variable. So I'll just very quickly try to write out this question, this condition. So if not head, okay, so it means that if it is not head or not head dot next, okay, I would just write return. Okay, now see what is it all about, the lines which I have written. Not and or not, these are the two functions which we have up in the Python. If you have like gone through my types of operators video which I had put a long time ago, so you might have guessed it very correctly that okay, these are two operators which we have up in Python programming language. Okay, so if you haven't, I'll tell you. So not and or not, okay, not and this or, these are the operators which we have up in Python. So my condition very simply satisfies that if not head, it means that if we do not have head, or my second condition says that not head dot next, it means that the value which we are having, if that is not head value and it is also not the value which is next to the head value, means let's say if I give you an example, we take the index as 1 and 2. So my condition will be that if not 1 or 2, means if the value is not my index 1 or if my value is not of index 2, then what I would do, I would very simply return my head value. As simple as that. Okay, so very simple condition. It might seem a little tricky, but yeah, try to listen what I am trying to say. Ki if the value is not head, right? If it is not head or not head dot next, if the value is not head also and it is not the next value of the head also, simply return out your head, means the real value which you were having. Otherwise, next what I would do, I would just write head dot next. Okay, head dot next dot next. Next it is taking us to further nodes. It is taking us to other further indexes of our linked list. Okay, this is what it is doing. Comma head dot next. Okay, head dot next comma head. For all these variables I am assigning up a value, and that is my head comma self dot. Now here I'm going to call up my swap pair functions which we have right away declared. So okay, where is that? F is gone. Fine, swap pairs. In the bracket we are having head dot next dot next, right, comma, and it is like head dot next, right. Now see what is done over here. I would first of all just try to write return head. Now just try to listen very carefully what I'm trying to say, because it's a very long line and many head and necks are over here. Okay, fine. So if we have up a head value, right, now I am taking the second value to the head. Let's say head is at 0, next will be at 1, and other next will be at 2. So I'm trying to say that if my head dot next comma head dot next comma head, if my 0 value, if my 0th index, if my first index and second index, if all these three are equal to my head, if all these three are equal to 0, comma, I am just using that self, calling up my swap pairs function, and again now I am just trying to swap it, maybe change it to the next value. So what is this line simply doing? This line is very simply just trying to check out the values at my adjacent positions and trying to swap up that value from my adjacent positions. That is all this particular line is doing, right? So even you can have your other way as well to maybe write down this thing onto your own, or maybe to solve up this question. But yeah, this is even one of the ways into which you can just simply solve out this particular question, right? When you will check out this question on Leetcode, so you will see ki already they have given you the next, all of these values to be defined. So there you can just go ahead and even like check out and write out the complete program onto your own. Fine. So yeah, this is a method ki how do you generally fix out and solve out the problem. The problem was very easy. So simply you had a linked list, you just have to swap out the every two adjacent nodes, right? Let's say you're having 0 1 2 3, so it should be 1 0 3 and 2, that manner only, right? So this is what this complete program was all about. So I hope you are clear with what we have discussed here for this respective program. Now let's move on to the next program, and it says that we are having two integers, dividend and divisor. Okay, divide two integers without multiplication, division and mod operator. Okay, so what do we have to do? We just have to divide the two integers without any multiplication, without any division and without any mod operator also. Okay, so the integer division should truncate towards 0, which means it's losing its fractional part. For example, 8.345 would be truncated to 8, and minus 7. Okay, so in simple words, if I say, you have to round it off. Round off means whatever the decimals you will be having, you just have to remove all those decimals. You just have to have a single integer value, right? Return the quotient after dividing dividend by divisor. So you have to divide the dividend by the divisor, and then you have to return up the quotient for that value. Okay, now we have to assume we are dealing with an environment that could only store integers within the 32 byte signed integer range, minus 231 to 231 minus 1. For this problem, if the quotient is strictly given 231 minus 1, return to okay, the quotient is still okay, fine. Now what's my examples are there? My dividend is 10, my divisor is 3. Okay, so we have to just do 10 by 3. So in that case, my output will be 3.33333 something, right? But my final result which I will be getting will be only and only 3. So I hope you are trying to able to get what I am trying to say. Okay, so we have to simply do dividend by divisor. That's the method. But our condition says without multiplication, division and mod operator. Fine. My second is, let's say 7 is my dividend, divisor is minus 3, so output will be minus 2. Yeah, 7 by minus 3, 7 divided by minus 3, it will be minus 2.333 something. But again, it is truncated to 2, it has been rounded off to 2. So my final result will only and only be an integer, that is minus 2, right? So yeah, now see, what is the method to solve this complete program? So method is ki, now here I will let you know what is the logic. The logic is pretty simple. You just have to apply up a few conditions. You just have to use a little bit of power function of Python, and yeah, you will be able to do out the things very easily, right? But again, at your own end, how to solve out this question, and maybe how to build out the logic for this thing, right? So for that, the method is ki you have to take a paper and a pen with you, right, where you have to very like clearly write down, note down ki what is the question all about, how are you trying to solve it. You just have to apply some calculations onto your own first of all, then try to build up the logic onto your own, and that is a place where you will be implementing that in the programming language, right? So always make sure once you are solving up the questions, you have a paper and a pen with you, where you just try to build out a logic different from other programs, okay? And you just simply go ahead and like put out that logic into the programming language. Great. So what I'll do, let's quickly write out the program for this particular question. Okay, so my class is my solution class. Again, as I was saying, you will be getting this class and the functions already made onto your Leetcode, right? Here we are using Google Colab, and that is just the reason why I am like making up these onto my own. Otherwise, you will already get that defined over there, right? So okay, my class is my solution class, and I'll just try to make a function. Let's say divide. Okay, divide, right? That is my function. Now inside that I am gonna pass out the self. Okay, I'm just passing out the self over here, comma. I'll make a variable as dividend. Okay, dividend, and I will set that as integer. Okay, my divisor, again I will set that as 2 integers. So my dividend and my divisor both will be integers only. No float, nothing, any other kind of values are not allowed. And my answer, my result to this respective will also be in the integer only. Fine, that is what I have written up till now. Now let's take a variable as s. Okay, now I will apply up a shorthand if else condition. Okay, I will let you know. First let me write, and I'll explain you. If s is equal to -1, if my condition goes, if dividend, okay, if dividend is greater than equal to 0 and divisor is less than 0, or again opposite condition, if dividend is less than 0 or and divisor is greater than equal to 0, right? Else 1. Now see, the line which I have right now written, that is in technical terms we say that it is a shorthand if else. Okay, so I would again say, if you haven't watched out those previous videos into which I have explained about the shorthand if else, so first of all go ahead and watch out those videos, so that here whatever I am like trying to give it to you is pretty clear. Okay, so yeah, see here, now my condition will be, my this line will be read by here, if dividend is greater than 0 and divisor up till this particular place. This is my if condition. If my if condition is true, then my output will be -1, else my output will be 1. Because see, if you have 0 either in the dividend or divisor or any negative value or anything like that, right? So now that's not possible for you to simply give in the result. That's not possible either onto the divisor or onto dividend if you have 0, right? So now that is the reason this condition has been put down ki if you are giving in the 0 as a dividend or a divisor, simply return -1. Okay, otherwise return 1 as a output for now. Okay, now next conditions, I'll be using the dividend first of all now. So my dividend is equal to, now if you have heard about this ABS function, this ABS is it is absolute square, right? Now this is one of the functions which we are having in the math module. Okay, what this does, it helps you out to maybe return the absolute value of the argument. okay, whatever the number you're having, whatever the things you're having, it will help you to return out the absolute value of that ABS, and this will be dividend. Okay, same I would do for the divisor for getting in my absolute values. The divisor is equal to, here we are having ABS and in the bracket we are having divisor. As simple as that for dividend and the divisor. Next I will take R as a variable, and what it will help us to store the result. So R is equal to length of range. In the bracket we are having, I'll put up a range that is 0 comma dividend minus divisor plus 1. Okay, I will just go up till that particular thing as a range, comma, I would set down here as divisor. The dividend is the above one, divisor is the below one, right? Always numerator is the dividend and denominator is the divisor. Okay, great. Now my condition goes that if s is equal to minus 1, one condition we applied above na, if dividend is greater than equal to 0 and divisor less than 0, or dividend less than 0, divisor greater than equal to 0, so it will return us minus 1. So if the value of my s is equal to minus 1, what I would just do, I need to put colon, I would just do result is equal to result, one second, is equal to result, one second, result is equal to minus result. It means whatever the value you'll be getting, we will be just having that in the negative value as a negative sign. Okay, getting down, coming out of my if loop. Here I would just, one second, I would just put up a condition now over here about minus. So minus underscore limit. Okay, so my minus limit is minus into the bracket, I will set this as 2 to the power 31, because yeah, here we are given about this 231 values, right? Minus 231 over here, right? So I just simply put that 2 to the power 31. Okay, minus 2 to the power 31. This is the minus limit. And what about my plus limit? That also I would add. So plus underscore limit, because we were given in the conditions, we have to note down and put down this condition too. So my plus limit is also equal to gonna be 2 to the power 31 minus 1. This was our plus limit, which was again mentioned out into our question only, which we have to simply wrote down over here, right? Next I have here as result. So now result I am going to set down as min, as minimum. In the bracket we are having max. Okay, min max. In the bracket I'll just put down as result comma minus limit, okay, comma plus underscore limit. Now that is what we had, and then I am going to return up over here as result. Right, so my result is as simple as that. We just have minimum, okay, we have min over here, then we had put down the maximum and the result comma minus limit comma plus limit. That is it, right? And at last, okay, I will do return. I will just simply do return the result. So yeah, see, again, this was quite a simple program, but if you see it from the question, you will say, oh, in this program I don't have to use addition or subtraction or even maybe multiplication or anything like that. So how will I do this particular program and how will I be able to get the result? So see, it's very simple. The kind of a program this was, it was very simple. So you just have to think and you just have to make sure ki you are what exactly logic you are trying to build out, right? So it's always maybe very important to check out the logic key, what it is all about, right? How you are building that and how effective that particular one is onto your program. So coding is not just all about writing the program. Coding is all about ki you even get a method to reduce the time complexity and even a space complexity too, right? So whenever you are solving up the questions, always make sure ki you are trying to pay attention ki about these things as well. Fine. Okay. So next question we are having a unsorted integer array nums. Okay. So it returns the smallest missing positive integer. Okay. Right, so you must implement an algorithm that runs in big O of n time and uses big O of one auxiliary space. Okay, example 1 is we are having a number 1, 2, 0. Output will be 3. Explanation, the number in the range 1, 2 are all in the array. Okay, example number 2. Again number we are having 3, 4, minus 1 and 1. Output will be my 2. Explanation, 1 is in the array but 2 is missing. Okay, so see, this complete program is all about you will be giving up a unsorted integer array. Okay, you'll be having an unsorted integer array, and in that array you just have to return up the smallest missing positive integer, the one which is present, not the one which is missing. That is smallest missing positive integer you have to find out, and this is all what this program is about. So what you have to do, you first have to check out the whole linked list, array, and then you have to check out which is the missing number, maybe the smallest missing number. Just write that down over here. Okay, fine. Let's try to write down the program for the same. So the program, first of all, I'll just make up a function. Okay, my function is first missing positive. Again, I'll say if you are gonna make this write this complete program into the maybe Leetcode or HackerRank, wherever you get it out, already the class and the functions will be made. You just have to write down the main logic. Okay, self comma, here we are having, I'm setting that nums, and I am making the list for my nums, because yeah, that is what is required, integer, passing integer into it, and then setting my result as well as an integer value. Right, that is what I have done. Now see, there are a few steps which are always common for all of the like question solving of this question. So just try to make sure you are writing all those in a like effective manner and fine manner, right? Next we're having, I'll apply up a loop. So for I comma num n enumerate. Now enumerate is one of the functions which we are having up here in the Python programming language. It actually what helps you, it helps you to return up a numerate object. Means if you are iterating over something, right? So it is a maybe kind of function which helps you to support the iteration, support the loop. Fine, that is what enumerate function helps us to do. And here when we are having up a loop which we have to apply over the numbers, so yeah, this is one of the functions can't be ignored over here, right? So my condition goes for I comma num in the enumerate function. I would just apply that if num is less than equal to 0. Okay, 1 second. So if my num value is less than equal to 0, first of all, right? So in that case I would just do num of I is equal to 0. As simple as that. My very first condition is like this only, ki if my num value, 1 second, ki if my num value is less than or equal to 0, so in that case I am just gonna assign the value for the num of I as 0. Okay, now moving down again, I would apply my second for loop. So for I comma num in enumerate, again that same function, and in the bracket it's gonna be nums, right? Getting down, now I will just take a variable as an index variable. Okay, and I will again use that ABS function which I had used above. If you remember, into the previous question also we used out the ABS function, right? So again, absolute value, it helps you to return out the absolute value, right? So I used out this ABS. In the bracket I'm just gonna use num, 1 second, subtracting minus 1, because yeah, we have to see ki how the things are going and like what is the space total, how many characters, numbers we are having, and which one is exactly missing up from there, right? So index is equal to ABS num minus 1. Okay, now next will again go my condition ki if index is greater than equal to 0 and index is less than length of my nums. So my condition is like this ki if the index is greater than equal to 0 and index is less than the length of my total numbers, so my condition will go that if nums of index, if the index of the numbers with the index of my list is equal to 0. Okay, so in that case I'll just write nums of index is equal to, and here I'll just write minus inf. Okay, that is minus inf, that is over here which we are having, that is identity function. Inf stands for your identity function. Okay, I will just write that in a small only inf like this. Great. Getting down, my elif condition will start from here. So elif my nums in the index, if the second condition if it is greater than 0, right? If it is greater than 0, right? So because we just don't want to have any negative or positive thing, right, or even in duplicated numbers, and that is the reason we are just applying this condition. So to that I am setting my index for the nums. Okay, index for the nums, and I am multiplying that with minus 1, right? So yeah, see, nums index multiply equal to minus 1. This will sentence be meant out to be nums index is equal to nums index multiplied by minus 1. If in case you are having a negative thing, so yeah, in that case we just used out this minus 1 also over here. Going down, coming outside my for loop, now is the time for applying up a new for loop. So for my for loop will go, so for index comma num in enumerate, again enumerate function because you are using up the values for over this, right? So because you have an object to support out the iteration. So for index comma num in enumerate, and in the bracket you are again having the nums. If you don't know about the enumerate function in detail, you can just go and watch out my previous Python videos where I have maybe given you a very brief idea about what is the enumerate function, how to use that, even with the help of some examples too. Okay, so my last condition will be like that if my num is greater than equal to 0. Okay, so in that case I am going to return it as index plus 1. Okay, like that, index plus index plus 1. And coming out of this for loop, I'm just simply going to write return length of my nums plus 1. So we just, what we did, we just with the help of the index and the total numbers which you're having, we just try to find out the total values over there. We just try to figure out that what are the total number of values which we will be having up over there, and just with the help of those values I tried to maybe calculate the total and return out the respective return indexes and the things for my whole program, right? So see, this is the method ki how you solve out the different kinds of the questions. This is the method how you solve out a lot of kind of questions over the Leetcode or any other respective platforms of your choice. I told you today the method to solve out 3 different questions, both 2 questions were medium and 1 was the tough hard questions, but you are not able to now guess out which one is the easy or medium or hard, because all these 3 are quite a simple programs to be written down. Now it's just a matter of how you think about that questions, how you frame up the logic behind that questions, and how do you put that down onto your collab notebooks. That is all what is just required up over here. So I just hope you got a very clear idea about all of these things, about the questions, about the way for the questions to solve out, and all of those respective things. See, if you haven't watched out these previous videos, then go ahead and watch out the previous videos too. That might help you out a lot. And yeah, I will be further watching out the same videos and going to the videos onto the next upcoming days also. So if you enjoyed the video, do share this video with your friends. Do like this video and don't forget to subscribe about the channel. We'll see you there in the next video.